In the 16th century, German miners used a tool called the Virgula Divina to find what the eyes could not see. By holding forked hazel branches, they relied on the wood's sudden twisting to locate hidden veins of coal and gold deep within the subsoil. This practice extended beyond mining into criminal investigation. In 1692, a French peasant named Jacques Aymar used a divining rod to track two murderers across miles of countryside, following an invisible trail down the Rhone until he identified a suspect who eventually confessed to the crime. Because no one understood the physical mechanism, theories turned to the supernatural. Theologians argued the rod's movement was diabolical, while early scientists suggested invisible particles emanated from minerals to pull physically on the wood. We now know this movement originates from the ideomotor response. When your mind detects a subtle environmental pattern, it triggers micro-muscle contractions in your arms. These movements are too small to feel consciously, but they are strong enough to move a balanced object. By utilizing a pendulum, you can amplify these involuntary signals. This allows you to bypass the hesitation of your conscious mind and access the massive store of information your subconscious processes every second. This works because of how your brain handles different types of data. In your normal waking beta state, your brain pulses at about 20 cycles per second. Here, the left hemisphere dominates, analyzing only the energy that reflects off the surface of the physical world. But every object also absorbs energy. This absorbed frequency isn't processed by your logical left brain. Instead, it is picked up by your subjective senses and transmitted to the right hemisphere, where it is stored beneath the threshold of your awareness. To access this stored data, you must slow your brainwaves from the frantic beta state down to the alpha frequency, between 7 and 14 cycles per second. This shift synchronizes the two hemispheres, moving your focus from external analysis to internal observation. By reaching this state, you are effectively opening a gate between your logical mind and the subconscious patterns your brain has already identified. To reach the alpha state, sit in a quiet room with your feet flat on the floor and your head balanced. Eliminate any immediate distractions to help your sensory nervous system relax. Close your eyes. This removes the constant stream of visual data that keeps the brain in a high-frequency state. Now, turn your gaze slightly upward towards your eyebrows. Maintaining an upward gaze at an angle of 20 degrees physically triggers the brain to begin producing the alpha rhythm. This eye position serves as a biological switch for your mental frequency. Now, count backwards slowly from 100 to 1. As you count, systematically relax every muscle from your scalp down to your feet. By the time you reach 1, your brainwaves have smoothed into a consistent alpha rhythm. Practicing this induction daily trains your nervous system to reliably shift away from the analytical left brain, making the subconscious more accessible. Now you introduce the physical amplifier. Hold a pendulum, any small weight like a ring or washer on a string, gently between your thumb and forefinger. You must now code the device for binary communication. While keeping your hand as still as possible, mentally state, when the answer is yes, the pendulum will move front to back. As you hold the intention, your subconscious will trigger the microscopic muscle movements required to start the swing. The pendulum is now calibrated to indicate a positive response. Repeat this for the negative response. Mentally command the pendulum to move left to right when the answer is no. Wait for the axis of the swing to shift and stabilize. You have now established a clear communication channel between your right brain processing and your physical nervous system. To verify the connection, ask for answers you already know. Ask for your name and then state a known lie. This helps you recognize this subtle physical sensation of the ideomotor response. Start with low-stakes exercises. Use the pendulum to help locate a misplaced object or to evaluate which foods align with your current energy levels. The most common point of failure is conscious bias. If you strongly desire a specific answer, your conscious mind will hijack the neural pathways and force the pendulum to move where you want it to go. If you feel this happening, look slightly away from the pendulum. Shift into a state of passive observation, acting as though you are simply watching a mechanical gauge rather than controlling it. This detachment allows the subconscious pattern recognition to take over, providing data that your logical mind might be inclined to doubt. Once you are trained, you can apply this to major decisions. Take a physical object or a written note related to a problem you are currently facing. Enter the alpha state, hold the object, and ask your calibrated pendulum a clear yes or no question. The very first movement of the pendulum represents the response from your subconscious, bypassing the circular logic of your conscious mind. By systematically quieting the beta state and calibrating the pendulum, you have opened a channel to the information your mind processes every second. Comment below and tell me, what hidden truth will you dowse for today?